I'm Gretchen Kohler, and the tune of the month is June in the North Country. This is a reel with a southern accent. It's cross-tuned. I'm GD today. I was just down in Saratoga Springs at the Dance Flurry teaching a cross-tuning workshop, so hello to the folks that took that class. We were actually in a different tuning, so this is a great follow-up for them. If you're interested in the sheet music, the chords, to hear a nice recording of this tune, or to hear the story about how this tune came to be, you can visit my blog, GretchenKohlermusic.com, and find the blog, June in the North Country. All right, let me play it, and then I'm going to break it down for you. It's a nice tune, it's fun. So as I mentioned, it's cross-tuned. So if you haven't explored cross-tuning, you'll get addicted. It's really a good fun. Your instrument sounds so cool. One of the benefits of cross-tuning is that you have drone opportunities available to you. So usually when you're playing a melody, you've got your melody string, the fingers are going, and one of your strings is going to sound good, one of your open strings, and one is not going to sound so good. But when you're cross-tuned, both sound really nice, the right or the left. This particular tuning is GD, GD. So I took my upper strings and I dropped them down a pitch. Another cool thing that happens when you cross-tune is that you have a lot of sympathetic vibrations. So my upper string is now a D, and my lower D, without my bow even touching it, is going to ring as well. It's like a little magic trick. I love showing the kids. I say, look, I can make it ring without touching it. So I often tell my students that if they're upgrading to another fiddle, to actually hang on to their old one, and that can be their cross-tuned fiddle, because it takes a little time for the instrument to adjust. It depends on actually how far away you go from standard pitch, but the instrument will go, you might find as you're learning this tune today that your instrument's going out of tune fairly quickly. It just takes a few minutes, but you'll often notice performers, we have a bunch of instruments down at our feet, and we snag them when we're going to play a tune. They're pre-tuned. It just saves a little bit of time. Yeah, just like all of us, we need a little time to adjust to change, I guess. Alrighty, let me play this tune for you. It starts with a very long pickup. I'll do that again. And that's the actual start of the tune. That would be where the first chord would be. First chord. And one of the things I add all over the place, so I'll mention it now, is a hammer-on. So that's a hammer-on. So it's basically a grace note that's kind of chunky. It's kind of long, and I give it a lot of weight. And in this case, I like to, slide into it as well. So you play the note before the note you're going to. So I'm heading for the first finger. I play the open. So hammer-ons everywhere. All right, so the first actual phrase of the A part. Do that again. Okay, moving on. Ooh, I did a hammer-on. Did you catch that? And another thing that I do quite a bit, so I'll mention it now too, is that I pulse the long notes. Dum. And it's simple. All you do, give a little speed and a little weight to the note. I do that on the long notes as well, but it's easy to hear in the longer notes. All right, moving on. Ooh, that third finger. That's a hot note. The third finger is a G, the pitch G. My open G, and I have a G above it now too. So that is really vibrating. My living room is enjoying that note. Okay, that's the first half of the phrase. Continuing on. I'll do that again. Then we come to the first ending. So as the A part repeats, we have a first ending, and then we go back and we'll have a second ending. So the first ending, it anticipates the beat. I'll do that again. Then we have that big long pickup taking us back to the repeat. One thing you can do on the short notes like that is you can take your bow off the string when you pick up speed. I take my bow off a lot. One of the reasons is because when I'm cross-tuned like that, if I can take my bow off the string, it lets the string ring a little bit. So don't be afraid as you build speed to take the bow right off. All right, so we're at the first phrase of the repeat of the A. Moving on, you've done this before. Continue. The high note, woo! Now we're at the second ending, so this is a little different. We have an anticipation. I'll do that again. Now as you're searching for those notes, something to note is that your two middle strings are in a weird relationship with each other. You're used to your instrument being tuned in fifths, and you know where to reach, and you can kind of find your notes. We don't have fifths here anymore, so this is a 2. So if you find that you're having trouble finding those notes across your middle two strings, give yourself a break. It's all right. Say, it's okay, I'm cross-tuned. I've got to refigure out this fiddle. You'll find them. You'll find them. It's a little confusing, I realize. All right, so let me play the whole A part under tempo, and I'll give you some drones the second time through because I've been leaving them out. Here we go, the A part. Off the string a bit, had a little fun. Let's move on to the B part. Same thing, it's got a very long pickup like the first part. So it's on our A. And then the part really starts here on the B. That was a big bite, I'll do that again. It's always good to sing along to kind of get that in your brain. Continuing on. That one's easy. That one's nice. It's all on one string. We've got another big pickup. This time it starts on the open D. Hammer. Play that again, starting at the pickup. Hammer. Jump over to our high string. That's the phrase ending. I'll do that again. And what's nice is there's no second ending. You've learned the whole thing. That's the entire B part. So a couple things that I add on that, on the long notes, is you can just play them plain, or you can play them, you can divide them in half. you can push that bow like I mentioned earlier to give a little pulse in the middle of it. You can divide up the long note with just like a rhythm pattern. A little fill. So anyway, so you can have fun on those long notes. Let me play you the B part. I'll do it without drums, and then the second time through I'll add a couple of those things I just mentioned. Okay, B part. In there. So basically that's the tune. As far as the end tempo, I think this is one of those tunes that sounds great at a lot of different tempos. I like to play it under dance tempo. Has a nice groove, or I like to pick it up. So I find that the pickups give you a great opportunity to change the tempo. So that's the way I've decided to do it. Let me play the whole thing for you at 2 tempos. Good for you for learning a new tune. Go out there and make the world a better place. I hope to see you again next month. Here it is. Breaking strings, breaking hairs. Anyway, have a good one.